Thank you. Okay, and then there's the issue of if XSplit, for some reason, sometimes XSplit likes to lag out the game for some reason. It's really annoying. So yeah, I think first list on today's priorities after the stream will be to uninstall this version of XSplit and to reinstall a good version of XSplit, such as the old one. A lot of issues right now in the current one, making it a little bit annoying to stream with. But anyways, we do have some fantastic StarCraft games here for you as Team Liquid lead 2-0 right now in this Team League match. Let's see if the Blues play down to the south side. Liquid Snute will be able to keep up his streak here. Not sure if Snute's already had an all-kill this season or not. That's something I might actually go check out in a couple of moments. So yeah, maybe we'll do that at the start of this game if nothing crazy is going to be happening. Over to the top side of the map, Karnage eSports, StrinterN. So he's just going to be going for Nexus first here, so I'll tell you what, let's have a quick peek, because I'm intrigued as to whether he maybe has, whether Snute has had an all-kill already this season, or how well he's been doing. I'm not sure how up-to-date the, okay, the statistics page isn't very up-to-date, but we couldn't just very quickly pop through the matches one by one and just have a quick peek. Thanks for, the sound quality is really good, it says Frankish, thank you. I'm glad you think so. My mic's nice, it's just a snowball though, and I'm thinking of upgrading so that I don't have, so that it's got a bit better I can't speak anymore, bit better compression, which has been a bit of an issue a couple of times in the past. Okay, let's take a quick peek while this game gets started up. There's nothing really going on, right? Just a Nexus on the way down. Snute taking his hatchery after the pool at his, potential third base, and this is something Snute always likes to do. So again, intrigued to see where this is going to go on this map. This is a map he was using the new Swarm host on yesterday, so interested to see how that goes. So Team Liquid, when has Snute played for them so far? He won in the final match against Invasion eSports. He has taken a couple of games off AT Gaming along the way. He lost when they played. Oh yeah, he lost to Patience when they played. He lost on this map to Patience when they played against Dignitas Pixels. Playing Karnage eSports now. I guess they got a walkover against Fnatic. Didn't play ESC yet. Didn't play properly yet. Wow. Okay, actually, Snute only has 3 or so victories so far this season because the rest of his team has just been doing so good. But let's get back in the game because we do have this hatchery on the way down here, something which was spotted by StrinterN just a couple of moments ago. So StrinterN sees this very, very brave free hatch play, and we'll see what he wants to try and do about it here early on. I mean, it's not super brave. I mean, it was a Nexus first, but putting them in this sort of position so they're very spread out will be interesting to see how exactly he tries to deal with it. I mean, gold bases are something Zerg players are definitely not afraid of taking anymore. The main problem with gold bases is getting units from your natural / main to reinforce, but it's kind of counteracted here by I was saying this a little bit yesterday. It's kind of interesting because you don't need as many drones on a gold base, right? So to get the same income, so you can cut drones a bit earlier, which can kind of make up the difference a little bit, I feel. And also, I mean, it helps you get your creep out faster as well. So anyways, we'll see Snute and how he deals with any potential ingression from StrinterN. He does start up 3 more gates right now, so definitely looking like that will be the case. Pulls out of this gas as well. So he's going to actually just go for like a 5 gate all in or so. That's on 4 more gates now. That will take him up to 5 in total. And on 5 gateways, well, how much is he going to do? Well, a bit more than 5. That's actually now on another. Is he going to get 1 more? Okay, well, there we go. It's going to be a straight up 7 gate all in from StrinterN. Now, the thing is, Snute, what can he see? He can see no gas on this natural expansion yet, and or at least on one of the gases, and he hasn't really seen anything else in the main base with this overlord, so he doesn't really see anything. He's got no idea about a pylon already coming up to this side of the map. He's got a spine crawler coming up at this gold base, and he's got another one coming up elsewhere at the other base, which is essentially his natural here. He's got the Zerglings on the way as well as a Roach Horn, and this is potentially an amazing read from Snute already. I mean, he is right now just completely preparing against potential aggression, and well, Stalkers coming in, and a lot of Stalkers coming in. These first Zerglings are coming in and just throwing themselves at nothing here. This Spanko is probably going to go down pretty quickly, and now there's actually only Queens left over here, and StrinterN moving in is going to be able to take down one of these Queens. These Zerglings, they're only slowlings right now, and that means heavy numbers of Stalkers will do very well against them. This Pylon's going to try to be killed off here. The Warpins helping out quite a bit in terms of trying to block off them Zerglings from reaching it. but the Zerglings will be able to take it down, and a lot of the Warpins actually cancelled there in the end, as this gold base hatchery is very likely to just fall at this point, it would seem. And it's kind of nasty to see. I mean, he loses 4 workers, he has to transfer another 3 over to this left side. Zergling speed about halfway done, so he's got about another minute before that actually kicks in here. And StrinterN, is he going to continue pushing forwards? He's taking his extra gases at the natural. He has started mining again here, and he's starting up a forge. So it looks as though what he'll do is he'll try and pressure a little bit with this army, and then just pull back into kind of a macro-orientated style of play, where thinking he may have already done enough damage. He is up 6 workers. He just has to be very careful because Zergling speed is on the way, so that's something he has to be very cautious of. And again, Snute was very close to being ready to hold this off. You know, he was already looking towards building up, roaches. He already had spines coming in and a lot of lings. It looked as though he sort of knew that this was already happening. But unfortunately, it was just not quite enough. And Zerglings speed about to kick in. These Zerglings will ignore the Zealots, of course. They're going to try and catch the Stalkers. It looks as though the Stalkers will make it back just in time. Complete wall off here, though, actually. And Force Field will help. Oh, man, that poor Stalker. Obviously, he pissed off the sentries before he left us. These Zerglings will catch the Zealots. He still has quite a lot right now. And actually, I think realizing here that he's maybe in a bit of trouble, StrinterN takes down that pile and gets into his base. He does have Force Fields, and just a single Force Field to block that ramp means that it's not too difficult for him to keep Snute at bay. Third hatchery is going to come down once again over towards this gold base. So gold base coming in, and these few roaches are going to be attempting to maybe push it up here. But it'd probably be pretty suicidal if they did go up there, so I think Snute's doing the right thing in fact, and just pulling back for now. We're looking at equal worker counts here, and with upgrades started for StrinterN, I mean, it's turning into a fairly standard game, I suppose. Snute has a lot more units at this point of the game than you usually would as a Protoss player, as a Zerg player, but, well, I mean, there's a lot of sentries out for StrinterN, and he should be able to hold off if Snute does try to be aggressive, and it looks as though this will just turn into a normal game with a slightly delayed third hatchery for the Zerg, and a slightly lower number of drones than we would usually expect. We've got Hydrogen coming in, the upgrades coming in for Snute as well. Now he's really starting to drone up. He's going to rally those over to his third hatchery, which is just about to finish up here, so Snute just getting his third hatch about to get saturated, and that income boost from the gold will help out significantly. And I wonder what StrinterN's plan is now for the game. Obviously he's getting that Twilight Council up in the production tab, and he's going to be heading in towards Blink and +2 here, which is again the very standard way to go about getting a third base. But what does he do from this point on? He's already got his production set up for the mid game with a lot of gates, and I wonder if he just says, right, what I'm going to do is either all in and add a bunch more gates and just try and do whatever else I can and just try and push forwards and do some more damage, as some Zerglings getting caught there. Or I wonder if he just says, right, let's start up Colossi and start getting into kind of a bit more of a macro game here from this good advantage I have from earlier on. The Overseer did get killed off and that not cancelled, and so that will delay any kind of further tech, robotics tech, for just a little while longer here, as we see a Dark Shrine starting up. So StrinterN not actually going into that Blink and +2 immediately, and just going to be going for some Dark Templars for now. We do see a pylon positioned at this 3 o'clock location, and Snute pretty much has all of his links over to the left hand side. The Hallucinated Phoenix here will see this. And Snute, well, he's got a few hiders moving forwards. They're going to get caught off guard. They don't really want to be out here on their own. He responds to seeing these units on the minimap very quickly. We'll still lose one of them though, as the first couple of spine calls coming in here. Well, I mean, StrinterN's in an awkward spot where he has to kind of be very careful as to where he actually fights, because Snute does have this surround set up, ready to come in from a couple different angles. StrinterN's had enough. He's just going to recall out of there. Does Snute have any detection though? He doesn't have an Overseer, and he does not have any Spore Crawlers, so these Dark Templar are potentially going to do a lot, but it looks as though Snute is starting to realise where this pylon may be, and he is going to find it here just before the Dark Shrine is ready, which is a big shame, honestly. I mean, losing that just before the Dark Shrine finishes really takes away a bit of the timing which he definitely did have. Of course, the investment into the Dark Templar and Warp Prism, that means he is just on pure Blink Stalker with Sentries to try and hold this third base, and it's not the easiest third base to hold. You can see the sort of concave Snute is already able to start setting up here. DTs are actually going to be used in this fight though, and DTs might make the difference because there's just no detection of Snute. The force fields come down a little bit too late, and they don't cut off any of this army, as Snute has already started to retreat, and Blink and +2 are coming in, and this might be continued, if StrinterN wants to, he could continue to chase here with the rest of his army. This DT going to continue chasing, will catch at least one more Hydralisk here. Depends how close the nearest Overseer is. I don't know where the Overseer is moving in from. StrinterN actually pulling back for a moment though, and keeping this Dark Templar alive. So, DT going to move over to the right hand side. We've actually got a couple of DTs moving down the right, and they do have protection here in the form of an Overseer. And they're just going to get picked up into the War Prism. They're evacuated in towards the natural, which is of course still empty. And then its DTs will now go in towards the main base, where there's a farm of Overlords alongside a single Spore Crawl underneath to aid in detection. 2-2 on the way now for our Zerg players, +2 will finish up for the Protoss. So upgrade is looking fairly good for the Zerg, honestly. I mean, it's not, you don't always see Zerg players really prioritize the upgrades, but in this game that's something that Snute really has been on top of. With 2-2 halfway done now. Nice set of forces from StrinterN, and he will take down a fair few units here and not take any damage in the process, which is always nice as well. War Prism's actually come back home, which is kind of interesting. Oh, this is a great set of force fields. Could have been a little bit better if he'd had one more to really trap some of these units in. Going to come in from behind now. StrinterN going to try and get some more damage done. This first Immortal is in a little bit of trouble back here. And Snute's just going to keep on moving forward. Second Immortal comes out. He needs to kind of pull that back. This first Immortal is actually still alive though somehow. It's just surviving for so long. As blinking forwards once again down to the south side. He's going to take down a lot more of these roaches. And in fact he's going to clean up everything to the right hand side of this as well. If he blinks forward, he might be able to grab the last couple of roaches here. One might just about be able to escape alongside, well, okay, a second one and some Overseers. But Snute losing a lot here, and I think that'll be an engagement from which StrinterN says, right, that was good for me, and I killed a lot, so let's move forward, so let's try and get something done with this. And he'll look to continue pushing right now. He's got the War Prism up, so reinforcements are immediate. Snute still has no fourth base. He's still just out on 3 bases, and seeing that may be a reason for StrinterN to say, actually, okay, well, let's just chill out a moment or two. Let's just wait and, you know, give it a couple of moments before I actually attack here, because it's not like you have the best of economies right now. DT coming in and starting to pick off a couple of units to the right-hand side. Zealous coming in to help out against the Spine Crawlers, and now the DT comes back in and is going to start swiping against this Queen at the same time, though the Moon Army coming down this left-hand side, and this is a really nice position for force fields. Once again, a lot of the Roach Hider just blocked away, not able to get close enough to really engage into this, and Snute definitely looking as though he's in a little bit of trouble right now. A couple more Stalkers getting warped in here. And StrinterN is looking as though he might be able to transition that early game advantage into a victory right now. The Time Warp's coming down to slow down the advancement of the Hydras as they try to step forward. There's a lot of Roaches, but there's just so many Stalkers with Blink as well. A lot of drones have already gone down, but so have the Immortals here. There's only really Stalkers left against a lot of Hydras, and there might just about be enough for Snute to push this back. 23 workers killed though means that Snute, he's not in the best of shapes in terms of his economy, and so StrinterN might have to just back out of here and just re-engage in a few moments time. Again, he's got a fourth base behind this. Snute does not, and Snute's also just lost a lot of workers. So StrinterN, all he really has to do is fall back. He's got Storm up at home. He's got +3 about to finish as well. He's going to kill off a couple more Roaches here, although maybe that was a misplaced Blink because Zerglings with fair speed are going to be able to catch some of these Stalkers, and another Blink here will help him to escape this. Takes a few more Zerglings down in the process, and he does have a couple of Templar out. He starts to saturate this fourth base. He does have Storm, and he's about to have +3. Does he have it all in time though? I mean, Storm is ready, but does he have the energy on the Templar? He's got it in 5 seconds, so not just yet. He needs to wait a little bit longer just to get those Storms to soften up the Hydras here. Once he has those, it's going to make a big difference, and here they are. They're ready now, but is he already just given up on this? He loses one of the Templar. There's a big Storm. Will soften up a lot of those Hydralisks. But is it too late? I think he's going to lose the fourth base. How important is that though? We've got to remember, Snute is still just on 3 bases back at home, playing with just pure Roach Hydra right now. And again, if StrinterN just maybe sits back and waits this out, just lets himself play, you know, just plays passively himself for a couple of moments here, he might be able to find himself back into this. He's chrono boosting his warp gates right now, desperate to get a couple more warp ins before this next engagement takes place. Another Immortal being chrono boost out here as well. There's a couple of force fields available, but not too many. As blinking forwards, he's going to take down the Overseers, and that means DTs can be warped in, and this is going to be a huge difference now to the fight. It's going to force Snute to pull away. And just like that, Snute does have to pull away with the advantage. Whoa, the blink forwards here. He's going to lose every single Stalker. That was the last blink in the world that you needed to actually take at that point. And actually, now he's going to lose his Immortal as well because of it. If he just let his DTs chase, he could have killed off so much, but without losing anything really. But instead, he gets greedy. And wow, where do we go from this point? We've got a fourth base being established to the right hand side, and Archon being added in, another Immortal as well. We've got a lot more Roaches being added on. The composition for Snute, just 17 Roaches, 5 Hydras, so really not that many Hydras, pretty much pure Roach here. So despite losing so much just then from StrinterN, he still has a chance. If he can get a couple more Immortals up, they will just shred through a pretty heavy Roach count, which is pretty much all Snute has. So things are a little bit tense right now as this Roach Hydra will be advancing forwards here towards this third base in a couple of moments. One Immortal out, the second about to join in. A couple of force fields will come down, and well, they're not really the best of force fields. The Stalker's blinking forwards aggressively again, And I wonder if it's just kind of defensive blinks which he needs in reality here, although these immortals are starting to get some work done. As Zelt's getting walked in, they go down very quickly. These immortals, though, now there's nothing to really defend for them, and although they've done a lot of work already, he's having to pull back here, and it's going to be very close. The last few warp-ins, he continues to warp in Zealots right next to this, and it looks as though Snute might just about have enough to be able to survive. I don't know how he made this work. A couple of misblinks, honestly, from StrinterN more than anything, I feel. As now 50 supply up, it looks as though Snute is maybe just going to end this game. 3 DC's getting warped in, one of them gets cancelled by the pylon being taken down. GG is just going to be called, and Snute takes game number 3 from what was definitely a disadvantage.